Hi there, I'm Dr. Shaw with Shaw Family Practice, where we harness the power of nature. I did a presentation in a Facebook group for entrepreneurs who are also moms, and you're gonna notice that the conversation is geared towards that, but it's also how we can make friendships as adults and how we can ask questions, talk about goals, and bridge gaps so that then you can grow your business. Enjoy. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Shaw with Shaw Family Practice, and today I am presenting on how you can use relationships and conversations to build your business. And this is extremely important because we all need each other, especially as moms, and a lot of the women that I take care of here in the practice are actually other entrepreneurs as well. So this is a very common conversation that I have with my working moms, okay? So here are the things. I'm going to share with you some tips that you can use if you're really shy. I am a shy person, and so I can share with you what I've done to help overcome all of that. Also, what you can actually say when you're having conversations, and some mindset shifts that you can make in order to make these really useful conversations. Okay, so we're going to try to keep this really short. My goal is to keep this to 15 minutes or less. So we'll see how I do. Okay, so if you can go ahead and post a comment saying whether or not you're watching this live or on the replay, that would be lovely. And then the other thing that I would love to know is where you're at. So I see people from all over the country, and I have friends all over the world. So there is a good chance that if you are building a business that I may have contacts that could help you. So that's a nice thing to remember when you are, on live events like this, is you never know how far reaching some of these contacts can be. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, here we go. So I want you to remember that when you are trying to earn someone's business, you have to first earn their trust. And this is extremely important when you're dealing with doctors like myself, because if you don't trust your doctor or your practitioner, you're not going to get the best results. And this is the same with if you've ever gotten your hair cut or your nails done. If you've gotten just those services from someone else and you didn't trust them or they didn't do a good job, you are not going to go back. So earning that trust with someone is extremely important, and having multiple instances where you can connect with people and earn that trust is how that's built. So when you are working with people, make sure that you're setting up follow-up appointments, making sure that you are giving them articles and things that you come across during your day that you're like, oh, they said that they were into skiing. Hey, did you know skiing at this location is, changing the prices or something like that? Or, hey, we're planning a trip here too. We're both interested in the same thing. So that's another way to build a relationship over time. Okay, so let's talk about that mindset that you need to be in order to get over being shy, because that's one of the big things for business owners. When we're trying to get business, we also have to make sure that we're working with our own integrity. And so the tip that I was given a long time ago was, instead of being shy and kind of being in the corner and being like, oh, does anybody want to talk to me? Like, oh, I'm a little scared to reach out to them. Instead, think of yourself at a networking event or online like this as a host instead of a guest. And what that means is you're not bothering anyone by being there, because we're all at those events to talk to each other. And you are there, and that other person is also there, and they're probably feeling very similar, where they're like, oh, I just wish someone would talk to me, anyone. And so when you treat yourself more as the host than a guest, you're more likely to introduce yourself, be more confident when you're speaking, and be able to see yourself as more of a resource hub for them, and like, ooh, who can I connect you with? Who are you looking for? And when you do it like that, and it's not about you and your ego and the things happening in your head, you're more likely to make a better impression and impact for that person. And then your connection with that person builds trust, and you both gain business and relationships from that. Okay, so making yourself the host and not the guest is a big one. And then I'm always curious on what people are looking for. I understand that I am not the ideal person for everyone. And if you can think of yourself as that too, you're more likely to be able to have these conversations with people. So finding out and being curious about them, their interests, and what they're looking for that's going to be hands down the best way for you to build those relationships. So if you're in a conversation with someone and you're like, oh my God, what do I say? I don't know what to say to this person. We have those awkward lulls in conversation. It's okay. Okay, it's totally okay. They're also probably thinking like, oh, what can I talk to them about or ask them? So here are some ideas of things that you can bring up and get in contact with. So I am a natural planner. I like to know a 5-year plan and things like that. I like to have goals that I'm trying to work towards and then share them with other people, because people are like, oh, you're raising money or you're helping out this cause or whatever. And next time they think about that, they're going to think about you. So sharing your goals and getting to know that other person's goals, very important. That way then also thinking of yourself as a resource, you can help them reach their goals by your own connections and people that you know or businesses that you've heard of. So putting people in contact because of goals is really awesome. Plus, if you want to take the pressure off of yourself to show up well and you don't want to have to talk about yourself very much, you can ask them about their achievements. We've all achieved something. It's not always awards and accolades, but maybe you've launched your business. That's a huge achievement, and other people will be viewing you in a positive light when they know that you've done these things. So for me, I will share with someone like, oh, I have a certification in adjusting pediatric populations, or I am a member of the American Chiropractic Association's pediatric board. So it's like I have this extra layer added into my practice. And when people realize that, they're like, oh, you are different from someone else that I know who does similar things. So when you can differentiate yourself by sharing your achievements, but also getting curious about them, then you can find people who are a better fit for those people. So the person sitting in front of you, you can find a better match for their business. And when you give them quality leads, they will in turn give you business because they're like, wow, this person that you sent me was amazing. Let me introduce you to Susie. I think you guys have these things in common. So always think about introductions that you can make. That is phenomenal. The other thing that you can think about is trying to get to know their interest in hobbies, because that sets up the ability for you to set up extra follow-ups with that person and continue to build that relationship and make it deeper. So for instance, I was in a meeting with an eye doctor yesterday. What is a naturopathic doctor like myself dealing with an eye doctor for? Well, we're treating other people and their bodies, and so we need to be able to recommend and refer to each other. So I was finding out things like her specialty, but I also found out she really likes hiking, and she was in the Navy. Like, there are all these amazing things that you find out about people that, you had one singular interest that you were like, oh, I might want to get to know you because of these things, and then you find out their background and their interests, and you're like, oh yeah, you're my new hiking buddy. Let's go and do something together. So that's my tip on conversations and where you can go so that you can take the pressure off of always having to do like an elevator pitch for your business, because honestly, that's not what sells your business. Having a good relationship with other people and being approachable and talking to people like they're friends, that's going to win you business, hands down. We are always going to do business with friends before some stranger. Okay. So, and if you recommend a business of a friend to another friend, they're more likely to already walk into that business with a positive expectation. And that's just going to make it so that everybody gets more benefit out of that connection. Okay, so I hope that you share with your colleagues things that you enjoy. So hobbies are another big connection because they're usually backed by groups. So for instance, this is a group of moms who are also business owners. Like, look at that. This is, moms trying to be in connection with each other. And so there is a network behind each of those hobbies and interests that you can actually utilize to boost your business. And it's not always sell. A lot of times it's a nice relationship, or like, hey, I was thinking about this event for the holidays. How can I make that virtual? Because we're all dealing with COVID and I still want to do this event, but not in person. And I know plenty of people who do events as their profession, like they are event planners. And so I can connect the person who wants to now take an in-person event and make it virtual and still make it fun and all of that, just because I have this connection, even though it has nothing to do with moms, right? So you can connect other people's networks and things with their business goals. So remember, I'm always going back to those goals, making sure that I can help other people reach that. Okay, let's talk about the other people that you know, the people who you are already getting business from. They have friends too. And so make sure that you're always planting that seed of like, hey, leave me a Google review. Hey, let's talk about things. And if you know anybody else who has stubbed their toe recently, or you see that in action, you're like, oh, I know somebody that you should go see. And so planting those memory triggers will help people remember you and your business. Okay. If you've been on social media, which you are if you're watching this, then you know engagement is something that business owners are always after, and you do not get engagement until you give engagement. So if you're on this, please comment, just say like, hey, watching, love this topic. Even if you don't love how I'm presenting it, that's fine. But getting engagement means that I have a little bit of incentive to reach back out to you, and then I can find out about your business. And then that trickles down to me having a connection that could benefit you. So there's this huge reciprocal cycle that ends up happening just because we're engaging with each other on social media. So I highly recommend that. Hey, Jodia, nice to see you. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. See, boom, positive. Anyways, I also want to say that if you find out things that you have in common with other people, you're going to deepen that level of trust, and you know that they understand you better, and so you're more likely to be more vulnerable with them, and you can be really clear about the goals that you're trying to achieve that you may not share with other people, because not everyone needs to know everything, right? Thanks. I'm glad that they're helping. The other thing that I want to reach out and say is if you are looking to grow your business, please DM me. It's not because I'm doing coaching or anything like that. It's literally because I'm another business owner and I want to help you grow your business. So if we can set up a time to chat and have tea, I want to do that. And it's virtual, like we can set up a tea date. If you go on my website, you can see Tea with Dr. Shaw, and you can set aside 15 minutes. I will sit there with a cup of tea. I have one on my desk right now. And we can just get to know each other. Like, it's that easy. It's not because you need my services, but because you have another business. And I'm always reaching out to other business owners because I know how lonely it can be. Okay, so here we go. Finding things that inspire you and sharing those, you never know how far reaching that is going to be. So for me, I end up talking a lot about nature because nature is something that I love and find solitude in. And so when I can share that with other people when they need to rest and relax, maybe they'll think about nature and then they'll think about me, right? Who doesn't want to be associated with the positive things that they love? So if you know what you need in your business and you're setting those goals, make sure that you're sharing them with other people, not like, oh, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. Like, that's not the kind of goal that I'm talking about. If you're saying, I want to make a real change in the lives of pregnant mothers, and you get even more specific on people who are interested in home birth. And then next time somebody hears somebody looking for information on home birth, they can connect you to. So when you share those goals, you're able to then layer in other relationships and comments, because doesn't it feel nice to have an answer that ends up helping someone? So if you do know someone looking for home birth and you refer them to someone like Jodia or any of the other midwives in Fort Collins, like, that's huge, because then when they do have their ideal birth and they think back as to what made that happen and possible, they think about you. Like, that's huge. Okay, so please reach out to me if you have questions, if you liked this, if you didn't like this, that's fine. I'll take some criticism, that's okay. But anyways, I am Dr. Shaw with Shaw Family Practice, and if you could DM me and just say, hey, I watched your video, just wanted to say that I watched it, that's great, and that's awesome, and I will connect back with you. It gives me a nice touch point with you. All right, so if you could comment and let me know what your favorite tip was, that would be lovely. And you can also share this video with other people that you know and tag them so that then they're like, oh, you're going through your notifications 5 days later. You could go back and see what people are thinking of you when they watch. All right, so take care. I love you very much. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.